I just got Pokemon ZA. Is it worth $70? Out the gate, I actually like how the game looks. Even the initial reveal for the game's trailers, I always thought this game compared to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet was actually a step up from what we had visually. A lot of you will disagree with me, but this is probably the first time where a Pokemon game actually looks good on the hardware it's running on, especially since the Switch 2 version runs at a solid 60 FPS at 2K resolutions. Switch 1 players, however, I'm sorry you guys have to suffer in 1080p 30 FPS. The battle system this time around is a real-time system. Gone are the days of taking turns, now it's straight hands just like the anime. You call out the Pokemon skills and they engage in combat. The ZA Royale fights at night are just as fun and rewarding, sporting their own battle system that's similar to how wild Pokemon fights play out. These fights feel as fast as ever, which eases down the grind to level up your team and encourages swapping out different Pokemon as you catch more. Speaking of which, catching Pokemon are now designated to wild zones, which will consist of certain Pokemon living in the area, including alpha Pokemon from Legends Arceus appearing as harder Pokemon to catch but rewarding you with the stronger Pokemon just like in that game. Catching and aiming for Pokemon feels different from Legends Arceus, but I personally still enjoy the rinse and repeat of collecting Pokemon in each area, especially now considering the map will tell you which Pokemon live in the area, encouraging you to go for 100%ing the Pokedex much more easily. I love all the new characters like Emma and Lita. I feel like a lot of characters from previous entries in Pokemon always felt one note and stale, but these characters get more depth as time progresses, and they feel cooler the longer you progress into the story. Originally, I had a distaste for the friends you made in Pokemon X and Y because they were too handholdy and annoying to me, but the newer characters featured in this game feel like a breath of fresh air in comparison to X and Y's characters. My honest criticism of the game really comes down to not having vehicles or rideable Pokemon to traverse the map. Yes, you can fast travel, but you could always fast travel in a Pokemon game, so why the exception for this title? Even Legends Arceus had rideable Pokemon. I'm also not a fan of the lighting in this game and how repetitive buildings can look, but honestly, Lumiose has always looked repetitive with its architecture. The Pokemon also can look janky from time to time, but nothing too crazy to ruin the overall experience for me. Overall, I believe this game is a fresh take on the Pokemon formula we're all familiar with, while also offering a new way to play in a familiar setting that people have been begging for. What do you think though? Is it worth $70? Let me know in the comments below.